Hi, my name is Sarah Sloan, and you are listening to The Sarah Sloan Show. Hi, you guys. Hope everything is well in your world. If it's not, hurt somebody. I don't know. I don't know if you heard the recent news. The First Lady got COVID. The President did not. I wonder what's going on. Are they not talking to each other? Are they... You know, I would think that spouses, like the two of them, would get COVID. But no, it does make sense now that I think about it more. You could be married and not get the sickness that your spouse has. At first, whenever I heard that story, I was like, what's going on? Are they not together? But who knows? It's not my place to judge. Something that I'm really excited for, like super excited, is the iPhone 15 event. Some people, they upgrade their iPhones like every year or every 2 years or even every 3 years. I usually wait like 5 years. And so then by the time the 5 years comes, I'm just so ready for a new phone. Like so stinking ready. And I'm so excited. They're thinking that these iPhone 15s will not do Lightning anymore. They're going to do USB-C, which everything's moving to USB-C. So this is better, honestly. And then it's going to have the dynamic island. I'm sorry if you don't know what that is. Before, the phone had like a notch, and now it has the dynamic island. So things are changing. But I even remember that before I had the iPhone 5S, and then I moved to the iPhone 10R. So I went from that classic look to the bit, like upgraded look. And then for years, it's just had the notch. The iPhones basically look the same. You could look at the 14, the plain 14 and the 10R. And they, like, if you just gave it a quick glance, you wouldn't even notice the difference. But now with that dynamic island that's coming on the 15, now we're talking. Sarah is happy. And when Sarah's happy, everybody say it. Everybody's happy. Yeah, there. That's what I like to hear. Golly. It's going to be so great. And then it's going to have a better camera and better microphones on it. And the screen's going to be prettier. Now, will my life be better as a whole because I have a better phone? Yes. No, I'm kidding. It won't. But it'll upgrade everything. I don't like a sluggish phone. I'm sorry. Like what if I was sluggish and pathetic and dumb? And you guys are like, you are. And I'm like, hey, I'm not. Don't say that, please. But yeah, you wouldn't like that. You'd want to trade me in for something new. The newer version of me is Jennifer Lopez. Duh. Oh, it's going to be so great. September 12th. It's like coming up. It's like so soon. Matter of days at this point. It's a little, like, I watch those entire Apple events. I don't know if you guys do. They're pretty lengthy, but I don't really care. And before, they were like live and in the moment, people on a stage talking. Like, that's how Steve Jobs first presented the iPhone and like the MacBook Air and the iPad. But now they produce the whole thing. They started it with COVID. And honestly, I kind of prefer it because it's prettier to look at. So, you don't get the audience reaction like you used to, but who cares? Live, laugh, love. Those are the 3 L's I always live by. That's what puts the L in my last name, Sloan. And then, okay, this is kind of random, but I've been thinking, like, everybody used to read newspapers back in the day. Can you believe that? That was like, that's all everybody did. They're like, oh my gosh, give me the paper. No, I want that section. And then they're just like reading during breakfast. Like, I really got familiar with that concept in the show I Love Lucy. Ricky, just every morning he was reading the paper. So to the point where he would ignore Lucy and Lucy would be like, hey, I'm talking. And he's like, be quiet. I have a newspaper. But it's like now, it would be so fascinating to know how many people read a newspaper every day, every week, every month. And then also, I do wonder, and I think the answer is no, but I wonder if they read the entirety of the newspaper back then, the people that read newspapers. I don't think you would. I remember one argument for, reading a newspaper, because I studied kind of journalism slash public relations. It's so funny, on my diploma it says journalism, but it was totally a public relations degree, so I'm still frustrated about that to this day. But still, part of an argument that I heard was like, hey, to be informed public relationist, you need to be well versed in every topic. So if you think about it, the way that we read or interact with news now, it's just stuff that we're interested in. So if you're looking on a news site, you're clicking headlines you're interested in. Versus back in the day, and then anybody that's still reading a newspaper to this day, you read the entire newspaper and it's exposing you to the arts section, the cooking section, the sports section, the financials, the business section, obviously current events, anything like that, the obits. You're just really, really a well-versed, well-rounded person taking in all kinds of information. And that really appealed to me. And then I remember they would always give out these New York Times. Like they had like a stack of them because it was a journalism college. And I remember I was so inspired. And I grabbed the New York Times and I'm like in my dorm and I'm just like looking at it. And in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, you don't have time to read this. You need to do homework right now. And then I'm also reading it and I'm like, these articles are boring. I'm not enjoying this. Why am I reading this? And I took a few more and they would just pile up. And then I just thought to myself, okay, yeah, this is not for me. So in my heart of hearts, I would love to be a person that could read a newspaper. It would be so cool. I'd be so impressive. I would impress myself, but it is not who I am. Sadly. So I'm not well-versed. I'm not well-rounded. I don't know about every topic, especially sports. Ooh, but speaking of sports, yeah, like I said, I don't really care about sports. But on Netflix, there's this tennis documentary called Breakpoint. I think that's what it's called. It is so interesting. And my dad was talking to me yesterday about it. He was saying that, if you even think about it with the Olympics, with the Olympic coverage, they used to just show the sports, just that kind of stuff. And then to try to help get women into sports, they started showing kind of their backstories, the athletes' backstories, and just showing the personality and the emotional side of them. And I remember that growing up. Because then if you got the emotional side of the athlete, then you paid attention more. Because you were kind of looped into their drama, their story, and everything else. It is so true. It works. So Breakpoint is basically doing the same thing. It's the plot, the point of it, very much documentary style, is that there in tennis, it seems like there's just been this generation of very famous tennis players. With the men's side, Federer, Djokovic, Rafael Nadal. The fact that I even know their names shows like how long they've been, famous tennis players that have won all the Grand Slams. And then on the women's side, Serena Williams has really dominated as well. And so there's a new generation of young tennis players that are like, hey, like, will we get a chance? Because if you think about it, there's all these people that have not been able to beat the dominant few. And so they've never gotten their shot in the sport. It's just been like impossible to break through. For sure, you can, maybe make the semifinals, but you're never going to be a finalist because no matter what, Djokovic is going to win. No matter what, Nadal is going to win. But these people are getting older, and these younger people are like, hey, can I take my shot? Can I finally win? And so it's covering their stories. And then there's major tournaments in tennis. There's the US Open, there's Wimbledon in the UK, there's the French Open, there's the Australian Open. And then some of them are on grass. I think Wimbledon's on grass. I think the French Open's on clay. I could have all of this wrong. I don't truly know about tennis. Also, I've tried to play before. It's a joke. And I'm not going to lower myself to the pickleball, easier tennis. I'm not doing that. And also, I'm not going to play table tennis. I just don't care. I don't want to do any of that stuff. That's not me. But watching this documentary is really fun. And so, yeah, it shows them at these tournaments. And then essentially, if they win or lose, even a little bit of drama, like one of them, they cover two tennis players and they're dating each other. And then they break up and all that. Pretty juicy stuff. I've been really enjoying the show. And so they have like probably over 10 episodes now. That was a lot of explanation. But like I said, I'm really enjoying the show. It's very, very informative and interesting. And I will admit, it does cause me to be a little bit more aware whenever I see tennis on the screen. Like, at the gym, there's TVs at the front, and I'll see some tennis going on. Then I'm like, I know that person. And I feel like I actually know them, even though I totally don't know them. And they don't know me. They'd be very lucky if they did. I will say that right now. But, I feel like I probably need to charge them money to meet me. And then I'll give them some tennis balls and signed tennis balls. I'll autograph them. Just to do something different. They're used to autographing tennis balls. No, I'll give them autographed tennis balls. That reminds me of that. There was a LeBron James, I think, sent like his jersey to this soccer player, maybe. I could be getting all this wrong. And then this guy is just a much lower athlete. And then he signs a jersey and sends it back to LeBron. And it was like the funniest thing, because it was like, LeBron was not trying to get a jersey signed from you. He does not care about you at all. LeBron, the king, with very terrible views. But yeah, no, it's been cool watching that show. So, and it's clean, so I don't, if you have any concerns there, it's on Netflix. And then, oh, that reminds me as well. Sorry, I'm all over the place. You know me. This is what I do. There is such an importance to working out, and I've been seeing that so strongly in my life. I've been very, very busy the past few weeks. I've been all over the place. Oh, it's frustrating. I don't like being busy. I actually am very much against being busy. I don't think it's a good thing. I don't think it's helpful, for me at least. It might be good for other people. Maybe they'll do bad stuff if they're not busy, but yeah, for me, it just it mentally clogs me up. I'm just not a fan. And so, yeah, due to that, being so busy, I've had to skip some workouts and stuff, because I really like to work out as often as I can. And trust me, I'm not like a gym rat. Kiss my guns. I'm not doing that. But I just see the importance of it. I'm like almost like an old woman in the gym. Like if you even saw me, you'd be like, oh yeah, she literally looks like an old woman. But I could tell like she's not an old woman. And I run a little bit, and then I usually have a leg day or an arm day or an ab day. And it could be a fast workout. Like usually I could take like an hour, and then I'm just out of there. And I just do it a few times a week. And I just notice how it helps me so much mentally. So much. And, like some people, like the idea of running, oh, it's disgusting. I would never want to run. Why would you ever want to run? It's wonderful. I'm like running, and I'm thinking about all the stressful things that happened at work, everything going on in my life, all my frustrations. And it's like, as I'm running, I'm just like getting it all out. And it's nice. And then the run is over. And I feel completely better about whatever situation is going on in my life. It's awesome. It's awesome. And yeah, just like pushing yourself, sweating. In the gym, especially lately, I don't know, the past few months, they haven't had the fan on or something. Like they do, but they don't. I'm just like sweating. Like so much more than I ever used to. But it's a good feeling. And, I'm going in the gym, and I'm seeing the guys checking me out, and they're looking me up and down. I know they are. And, usually I just have to be like, eyes on the prize, which is technically me, but I just mean like the weights. Eyes on the prize, and then they go right back to lifting the weights. Because I'm just like, you can't get so distracted with me being there. I know I'm fun to look at, and I'm very appealing in every way, but you need to be disciplined in work. There's one time I ran, and I think I'm a person that doesn't really look like quite the runner, and I can acknowledge that. Trust me, I'm not big-headed in any way. And then this like bigger lady came up to me afterwards. Bigger, I mean fat. She came up to me afterwards. She was like, you really try. You really go at it. You really inspire me. It's just like, it was very sweet, but it was one of those like, it was like a backhanded compliment a little bit. And I was like, oh yeah, thanks. I just wanted to get the heck out of there. It was very uncomfortable. It's like, you're so pathetic that you actually even can do that. Like, it's very surprising. And I was like, thank you. Thank you. I can run. You know, I just didn't, yeah. I felt a lot of ways about it, but it was kind of funny, I guess. But it's so good for you. And, you know, sure, maybe it doesn't matter in your 20s or your 30s. Maybe even it doesn't even matter in your 40s. But man, once you start getting to your 50s, your 60s, your 70s, your 80s, you start to notice a difference from the people who worked out and the people who didn't. You ever see those people with like the worst like hunchbacks? And you're just like, what the heck? Like, they are so hunched over. Why are they like standing like that? And it's terrible. And, or the people that can like barely move their legs. Like, how do you think that happened? Sure, there may be a bunch of reasons, but more often than not, they weren't using their body. And if you don't use it, you will lose it. And so when you're running really fast, you are telling your body, hey, this is what I expect of you, and you better dang do it, or it's not going to be okay. And so your body's like, oh, okay, I'll do it. I don't know why the body sounds like that. Oh, I'm the body. Yeah, I don't know why I'm doing that, but I am. So then you have to just push yourself harder and harder and harder. And then, yeah, even Joe Rogan says this. Well, I'm not the same way. I'm sure he absolutely kills himself. He says he goes so hard that nothing else is a problem for him. Everything else is easy because he makes such chaos for himself while he's working out. I push myself, but I'm not doing that. You know, he also does sauna, super high temperature, and then cold plunge. Sauna, cold plunge. No. You won't catch me doing that. That's really miserable. I'm not interested in that. Although I do believe it's good for your body. I'm not saying anything against that. And I know it's good for you, like, because you need to make yourself uncomfortable. That's another huge thing. You know, mental health and like depression. I promise you, exercise, half of it could be taken away from exercise. If you just exercised, if you just, whatever exercise you want to do. That's the other thing. Everyone's like, oh, well, I don't want to do burpees and I don't want to do push-ups. I don't want to do pull-ups. I don't want to run 3 miles. No one's asking you to. You do what you like. So if it's running very slow, or if it's just walking, or if it's rowing, or if it's biking, if it's pickleball, whatever it is that will get you to move, seriously, that is better than nothing. Just do what will make you move. And then this is usually what I recommend to people who aren't comfortable in the gym. Like, I usually say, just go. I bring my iPad. I'm that weird girl in the gym carrying around my iPad because I like to put it on the treadmill and I watch shows or podcasts while I'm doing my stuff. And so it helps distract. You know, there's TVs, but I'm not interested in what's on the TV. I'd rather just watch what I want to watch. But that really helps me because I'm doing what I want to do, what I'm interested in doing. So yeah, so what I would say to somebody who hasn't done it before, who isn't comfortable in the gym, first of all, nobody cares about you. Everybody cares about themselves. So no one's really looking at you. Like, seriously, no one's looking at you. And yeah, bring a device, whether it be your phone, your tablet, whatever it might be, and just put on a show. Whatever show you're watching, you're binging right now on Netflix, Hulu, who gives a flip? And just walk. And seriously, walk slow. Do not walk too fast. Just walk slow. And just do it for a week. Do it as much as you can for a week. And you might be surprised, but as you're watching other people in the gym, because you will watch other people, because you're not comfortable yet, you will begin to be slightly inspired. You will see how to use the machines that you weren't sure how to use. You'll see other people's routines and everything else. You may even start to talk to people there. I'm not a talker. I do not like to talk to people at the gym. Then you may start to speed up that treadmill a little bit. Maybe you're doing a slow walk. Maybe you want to do a little faster paced walk. Okay, and maybe you want to run for a minute and then walk for 10 minutes, run for a minute, walk for 10 minutes, and then maybe 2 minutes and 5 minutes, 2 minutes, 5 minutes. My point is, then you'll try the machines. You could build up and you could start doing more. I truly believe it could change your life, fitness. I really believe that, you know. I'm a believer in fitness. I used to not always value it that strongly. And I'm so glad that I changed course because, man, I just think it's so valuable. And I will admit it, as a woman who is not yet with a man, but is maybe looking. And yeah, if you want to submit your applications to me, please feel free to. I'm going to do a kind of bachelorette style thing, hillbilly style. So I want the grungiest, nastiest men. One of my things that I used to not prioritize or care about at all is someone that goes to the gym. If you go to the gym, if you're taking your fitness and your health seriously, that is a huge plus for me. I never used to care about that. I never would have thought about that in the past. But yeah, I want that. I'm very serious about that now. So yeah, if you're not going to the gym, if you're not serious about your fitness or anything else, no one's asking for someone with a six-pack. That's stupid. That's not fair. I just want someone who's regularly going to the gym and taking some care of themselves. Because then you're going to live longer. You know, I think my dad's in his lower 60s. I see men his age. He looks 1,000 times better than them. It's crazy. They look awful. God bless you, men, but you look awful. You need to move your body. It's gross. Oh, this is random. There's this, this brand Tazo. I think I'm saying it right. I'm probably saying it wrong. I've been saying everything wrong lately. Even my own name. But there's this chai tea concentrate. And I got it recently. You get like a 32-ounce thing of it. And you can like add it to your coffee. You could do whatever you want. But it's been really nice as a latte addition. So yeah, if you have like a espresso machine of some sort, you just add some of this concentrate. And it ends up being like a chai tea latte. With the espresso and with the milk and everything else. And it's a great hack. Could obviously save you some money not having to go to a Starbucks as well. Although, yeah, because of Michael Knowles, my views on Starbucks has been changing a little bit. He really kind of opened my eyes to the whole thing. Before I was just like, oh, Starbucks is liberal. I don't like that. And yes, they are. I am not saying that they're not. They are. But if you think about it, coffee shops and new coffee shops, they're all drive-through now. There's no place to sit. There's no place to use the restroom inside. That's frustrating to me. If I want expensive coffee, and it's expensive now, I want to be able to sit inside, study, use my laptop, do whatever the heck I want to do. I want to be able to use the public restroom. I want to be able to do all that. And I can't do it anymore. With all these Dutch Bros or 7 Brew or I don't even know. There's so many places now. I'm sick of it. I want a place to sit. And Starbucks is one of the only ones remaining. The big chains. I think I'm going to have to try it. There was a Scooter's Coffee that just opened up kind of near where I live. So I may need to try that out and see how I like it. Because I think you can sit in there. But why are they doing it? They're doing it because they don't want to pay for the restroom for the public. They don't want to pay for the seating and the tables and everything else. Well, guess what? You're charging the same as places that do let you sit inside. So what am I gaining here? So then Michael Knowles was saying that Starbucks has provided public restrooms all over the country. He's so right. It's also places to study. For years, where I live, we didn't have reliable internet. I would have to go to a Starbucks to get reliable internet. And then I could hang out there for a few hours, go to restrooms and all the rest. It was wonderful. I loved it. So yeah, so I'm much more on board. Not even really with just Starbucks, but with coffee shops that let me sit inside. If you don't let me sit inside, I'm pretty much not going to go to you. Like, I think I have yet to go to Dutch Bros. Someone has gotten me Dutch Bros previously, but I've never gone to Dutch Bros. I don't plan on going. Oh, if they had a Dutch Bros where I could sit inside and use the restroom, then we could talk. But yeah, smaller coffee shops, like, not chains, just standalone coffee shops, they seem to really understand the environment. Well, gosh, as a college student, you have to have a place to study. And yeah, they're willing to pay coffee. Yeah, the students are willing to pay for coffee. So you need to reward them. Otherwise, what are we doing? What are we, what are we doing? Chuck, can you tell me? Oh, you can't? Then be quiet. Okay? Man. I don't even like the name Chuck. I think it's okay, but I'm not the biggest fan. Okay, so I did want to cover the Bible verse like I always do. So that is going to be Ecclesiastes 2. And where was it? I had it. I promise I had it. Yes, verse 10. Ecclesiastes 2, verse 10. Oh, let's go to 9. I'm crazy. So I became great and excelled more than all who were before me in Jerusalem. Also my wisdom remained with me. Whatever my eyes desired, I did not keep from them. I did not withhold my heart from any pleasure. For my heart rejoiced in all my labor, and this was my reward from all my labor. Then I looked upon all the works that my hands had done, and on the labor in which I had toiled, and indeed all was vanity and grasping for the wind. There was no profit under the sun. I just think it's extremely valuable. King Solomon, Ecclesiastes, he was the wisest guy, the most knowledgeable guy, the richest guy, a guy who could have any amount of women he wanted. He had the biggest house, palace, whatever, condo, the most animals, the most delicious food, everything he wanted. He had people's opinion and respect. He was one of the most famous kings. And he's seeing that it's not all worth it. It's not giving him joy and satisfaction. He's seeing it's vanity, essentially. And it's so relevant for our lives, and especially in this country, in the US, where we want the success, we want the fame, we want the money, we want the love or whatever, the love interest. We want all these things. And it's never going to bring us to joy and satisfaction that we think we're going to get from it. And so, yeah, he's literally admitting, I was the most excellent. I excelled before everybody else. And I kept my wisdom, which wisdom is so important. You could be the richest person, and if you open your mouth and you're saying the dumbest stuff, almost no one cares. You lose respect for that person immediately. And then, he's admitting that anything he wanted, he got. He everything he did, every bit of labor, he got satisfaction from that. But then at the end of the day, he just saw, no, it actually wasn't of any profit. And so, a really attainable one is, for example, YouTube. Everybody, is on YouTube trying to become a famous YouTuber. And the first goal for YouTubers is to gain 1,000 subscribers. And if you do that, then you're able to be monetized. And then the next goal, of course, is 100,000 subscribers. Because then I think YouTube gives you some kind of plaque, some kind of reward. And then after that, it's 1 million. And then it's 10 million. And so on and so on and so on. And you think that, okay, when I get 1,000, I'll be happy. I'll be good. And when I get 100,000, then I'll finally be happy. No, when I get 1 million, I'll be happy. And you realize it's never going to make you happy. Because at the end of the day, surprise, surprise, it actually doesn't matter. It actually doesn't matter. The only thing that matters in this life is satisfaction in Christ and sharing him with others. That is the secret to life. And I say it so quickly, so easily. But I fail to live it so often. And I get caught up in this world that doesn't really matter. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. And we forget even, just with the YouTube example again, that subscribers are people. They are people. They are human beings with their own lives, with their own families, with beating hearts, with jobs, with situations. And instead, it's just, oh, a million of them. This didn't get me that many views. No, don't talk that way. For me, even, I remember whenever I first started my podcast, and obviously my family is pretty small, so I know the amount in my family. And then for me, any amount I got over that, so it was like 5 or more, I was like, that's somebody other than my family listening. Because you know your family's going to listen to you. That's just like, duh, of course. But yeah, anyone over my family, I was just like, someone cares about me. Someone's actually listening to me. And then I even thought, yeah, especially whenever I was podcasting, it's like having, say I had 20 people listening to my podcast. It'd be like literally having 20 people sitting there and listening to me speak. And for me, that was such an honor that 20 people would listen to me. Heck, 15, 10, 5, 1. Anybody listening to me is such an honor. And it's so cool. And it's so exciting. So imagine for the people that are getting millions and millions and millions of views. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. And it's really cool. But it's never going to bring joy at the end of the day. For the people that are trying to make the most money. Okay, that money's not going to make you happy. Money is freedom, and that's all it is. Money is freedom. But yeah, if you can give it to others, if you can share of it, if you can utilize it to do more things. That's the point of money. And so you don't want to be financially insecure, because that's not good. But it's not your secret to happiness. And you hear the most famous people, and they're still not happy. The most famous people, and they commit suicide or whatever. If it's women, sexual desire. Well, gosh, then why are there's these divorces? Tom Brady and his ex-wife Giselle, whatever her name is, and 2 amazingly attractive people, and they split up. Well, gosh, what? I thought everything was about the beauty of Tom Brady. He's so handsome. If I was married to Tom Brady, I would never. He's so handsome. No, he doesn't grant you happiness. It's just the truth. So. Powerful points from Sarah Sloan. Am I a preacher or what? I think I'm a preacher now. Oh no. All right, you guys. That's really all I wanted to talk about. I appreciate you listening. Just remember, you are special to me and you matter. So stay safe out there. Goodbye.